Now, earlier this month, a refugee boat with 700 people on board sank off the coast of Greece. The big shocker here is that at least 250 of them were from Pakistan and 28 from a single village in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And WION visited the village, Bandli, and spoke to the victims' family members. Here's a report.
Bandli village, 4.5 hours from Islamabad, was known as one of the frontline villages in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. But now it has a new identity, a rather sad one. Not one, not two, 28 of its residents, a majority of them youngsters, were on board the ill-fated trawler that sank off the coast of Greece in the Mediterranean Sea. Most of them were hoping to eventually reach Italy for a better life. Locals claim about 300 people from the area had previously relocated in the past 6 months. WION spoke to the families in the village, people who had sons, daughters, nephews on board the ill-fated boat. They say they paid around $9,500 to an agent who said he would take them to Italy. They say Pakistan's terrible economic situation and lack of opportunities in their region are to blame for relatives making the journey. Muhammad Yusuf last spoke to his son Sajid Yusuf on the 8th of June, when Sajid was waiting in Libya for smugglers to pack him and hundreds of others onto a boat bound for the other side of the Mediterranean. 6 days later, the trawler sank off the coast of Greece. "I never wanted him to go," says Sajid's father. His elder brother had also advised him against this deadly journey.
We have lost our kids in this tragedy. One of them is my son, Sajid, and 3 others are my nephews. May the Lord be with them. I just have one request from the government of Pakistan, that we get the dead bodies. It wasn't their want, it was their necessity. They do not have a source of income here. The prices are soaring. They had to go. They had to go for their families.
26-year-old Islam was also on board the sunken trawler. He moved to Europe in search of labor and a better economic situation. Islam was raised by his uncle Aziz Hussain, a resident of a migrant colony in Bandli. Aziz said the village's children had no other choice but to board the ship to find a source of livelihood. All he wishes to know is whether his child is dead or alive.
I raised him myself. The second day after he got onto the boat, our nephew told us that he had gotten onto the boat. 6 days later, it was found that the boat had sunk. It was told that 2 or 3 ships had gone. One of them had sunk. I tried to find out the real news from mobile, but nothing was found. There was no contact with the government. We were trying to get a report on it on our own. The survivors were sitting in the front and back with our child. We got worried. One was sitting in front of him and one was sitting next to his seat. No one knows what happened after that. Please, the government and you TV people should also tell us whether they are dead or alive. If they are dead, then their bodies should be returned to us soon, so that our worries are reduced.
With no communication from the government, the families of the victims have little choice but to come to terms with the tragedy. It's been a big price to pay for the eagerness to relocate. Life will never be the same again.
This very village has lost 28 of its citizens, of its people, of its residents in the ill-fated accident or the ill-fated boat, the Greece migrants boat. Now, what the bigger question is, why were people leaving in such a big number? The answer, what we've been able to gauge is that in the past 4 to 5 months, unverified accounts say that about 300 to 400 youngsters from this very village have left through illegal channels and have managed to get to Turkey, Italy, and Greece through illegal channels. But the bigger question is, what is the trigger and what is forcing them? And the answer to that is poverty. One-liner is poverty, one-liner is the economic condition, and the one-liner is the fact that how they dream and aspire to have a better life, which is what has costed them their lives forever. Anas Malik on the Pakistani side of Kashmir in Bandli village for WION World is One.